Welcome back to Crypto Meets AI. Jerry here with an update for you. Do me a favor, friends. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. Now let's get into this. And Franklin Templeton just soaked up another 79 million XRP. The available supply will run out faster than many people think. Franklin Templeton CEO Jenny Johnson and FTI Global Head of Innovation Sandy Kaul discussed the Benji technology platform and the unique capabilities and utility enabled by recording all transactions natively on-chain.
I am here with at FII with Sandy Kaul. Sandy led a panel this morning, and you had three great panelists. Tell us about that. We had Jeremy Allaire, the CEO of Circle, which does the USDC stablecoin. We had Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, who is one of the largest payment processors and has the XRP blockchain and the Ripple stablecoin. And we had Sarah Fryer, who is the CFO of OpenAI. Why does a TradFi firm like Franklin Templeton care about this stuff? We really are at the forefront of what we're able to provide. One of the reasons that they want to work with us is because we have created the only money market fund that is right now being offered natively on chain. Because of that, offer completely new kinds of functionality. We can settle our transactions instantly, any second of the day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No one can do that except Franklin Templeton. How is that different from other money market funds? Because we have built this infrastructure that we have rolled out across 9 different blockchains, and we are able, therefore, to settle these trades on our own. We are the own transfer agent. We issue them, we tokenize it, we settle it. We pay out the yield in incremental new token issuance. We really are doing things that are changing the course of the industry. That's awesome. Now I understand why it was standing room only at the breakfast.
This is why I've always said it's going to be a multi-chain, multi-token system, not a one-winner-take-all. And she right there said they're connected to 9 different blockchains. If that doesn't cement it for you, I don't know what will. Day-end update. XRP ETFs hit 23 million in a half a day, and another ETF is coming this week. Even with the shortened trading session, XRP spot ETFs pulled in 23 million in combined volumes. Strong demand on a holiday week. Franklin Templeton, 6.78 million. Canary Capital, 5.99 million. Bitwise, 5.46 million. And the big kicker, 21 shares XRP ETF is expected to go live early next week, adding even more fuel to the demand side. We'll keep on bringing the updates as they roll out. How is the UK approaching crypto regulation to become a global leader? Crypto in 1 minute. Matt Osborne, Policy Director for the UK and Europe.
The UK is one of the world's leading international financial centres, so when it leans into crypto, this matters. Hi, I'm Matt Osborne, Policy Director for Europe at Ripple, and this is Crypto in 1 minute. The UK is now acting to realise the benefits of crypto technology. The government and regulators are working to bring clarity to the industry. They're engaging with leading players, both homegrown and global, and that's a huge step forward. We're starting to see the results already, with leading UK financial institutions exploring what crypto means for their businesses. Though the UK is a little behind other jurisdictions, it actually has a second mover advantage, meaning it can look to other regions to learn what's worked and what hasn't. For example, the UK plans to allow overseas stablecoins like RLUSD to be used locally, supporting the UK's role as an international hub. Of course, challenges remain. The new framework needs to be implemented at pace, and the Bank of England has been cautious on stablecoins, though it's showing signs of a more constructive approach. The UK is recognising that proportionate, innovation-friendly rules are essential. If the UK follows through, it's on track to become a global leader in digital assets.
Stablecoin RLUSD is going to play a major part bringing more players to the XRP ledger. With an emerging market of possibly hitting $3 trillion in the next few years, Ripple would have been a fool not to create their own stablecoin and have it fully regulated back one-to-one with U.S. treasuries or cash equivalents. Stellar's vision for digital assets is crystal clear. In a recent Thinking Crypto interview, SDF CEO Denelle Dixon breaks down the future. Put your digital assets to work, from fractionalized real estate to global access to capital. Remove barriers so anyone can participate. Traditional assets are moving on-chain into DeFi with near 24/7 markets. Stellar Org 2025-2026 focus. Scalability, usability, tokenization, even US-backed treasuries could power payments while earning yield. The future of finance is global, tokenized, and accessible.
Take a second and listen to a Tony Edwards Thinking Crypto interview with Denelle Dixon, the CEO of the Stellar Development Foundation, from just 2 weeks ago. For this interview, listen to what Denelle Dixon says here about putting your digital assets to work.
thing about it is when we think about everyday financial services, it's the ability to put your money in to create capital and to be involved in capitalism in a unique way. And when you think about being able to purchase a fractionalized ownership of real estate, it actually allows your money to grow and to grow through the growth of an asset out there that is in high demand by everyone. So it's really exciting to see that and not to have barriers to entry so that anyone could actually use this. This is what everyday financial services are, and this is what we really like to focus on.
It seems the puck is heading where a lot of these traditional assets will be on the blockchain, fractionalized. You'll be able to put them to work in DeFi, and we're going to have almost 24/7 markets, maybe for some assets, not all, but also more of a global reach, more liquidity coming in from different parts of the world.
Yeah, I think that the way we think about Stellar, certainly in 2025, 2026 and beyond, is scalability and usability. And a lot of it is focused around tokenizing these assets and making sure that these assets can be leveraged across all markets. So we need to let a little bit of the policy and the regulatory environment catch up with what this technology can do. But I love that these players are thinking ahead and they're trying to figure out, like, what are the things, like, if you think about paying with stablecoins, that's amazing. But if you think about the fact that you can hold a US backed treasury asset and then also make payments with that US backed treasury asset so that you're also, the money is sitting there working for you and you get to leverage payments just like a traditional money market fund where you used to be able to write checks from it. It's pretty great. And to make that sort of on a global scale, which is what we're seeing, is also really wonderful from it. Just create so much opportunity for the end user, whether that be a small to medium sized institution or an end user. An individual.
This technology is going to be so beneficial to the normal person because it's going to allow them to participate in markets they were never able to participate before, ever. And now that's going to level the playing field and give everyone the same access that the rich and elite people have had and have the advantage over the normal person. Level the playing field is what's happening. Leveling the playing field. And last up, calmly a fund strat on where stocks and the S&P and crypto could be heading as Fed cuts approach. Crypto had been a leading indicator for actually most of the last 5 years, but on October 10th, crypto had what I would call Armageddon.
Say 7,000 in the S&P by year end. Now that's only like 2.5% up from here. We made some progress. But a year ago, you also thought we'd hit 7,000 in the first half of this year. So what happened along the way? And I guess what might you think about in terms of impediments looking into 2026?
Yes, I mean, we're almost through this year. And I'd say looking back, this was 5 years of history compressed into 1 year because we had a major bear market, the biggest tariff hikes ever. And that, of course, killed any hope of any 7,000 in the first half. But miraculously, stocks went into a waterfall decline and recovered every single point of that decline symmetrically. So it really speaks to the resilience. But I guess as we're thinking about next year, I bet you it's going to be very similar in the sense that we'll get a policy shock, maybe whether it's monetary or from the administration, it could lead to a big drawdown of 20% again.
Yeah.
But it's a replay of this year. And maybe we've now had 20% bear markets in 5 years. I mean, that's a lot of history compressed into a 5-year period.
Now, you mentioned, obviously, the confusion over the path for the Fed as contributing to this recent pullback, as well as some policy flux in there. What role did the violent shakeout in crypto have on all that? Because a week ago, that's all we were talking about was Bitcoin can't stop going down. The NASDAQ wants to follow it, or people are concerned about how that's going to knock other things loose in other financial assets. So it's stabilized, but it's not exactly sort of participating to the upside in this bounce.
Yes. So crypto had been a leading indicator for actually most of the last 5 years. But on October 10th, crypto had what I would call Armageddon, a flash event, but it led to a liquidation that was never seen in the 15 years history of Bitcoin. About a third of the market makers went out of business that day. Almost 2 million accounts went to zero.
Yeah.
And it was because of a pricing error, what I would call a glitch.
Glitch my ass. I call it manipulation. Almost downright criminal. Well, that's what I have for you folks. Until next time, stay savvy, stay stacking, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and comment down below. If you want more crypto deep dive, check out our videos right here on Crypto Meets AI. Thank you for watching. Remember, always do your own research. This is not financial advice.